So I got a huge piece of ribeye here, about 2.5 pounds, and a humongous sourdough roll. We're gonna try to make something out of this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyday Barbecue. My name is Mike. Today we're gonna do a humongous, ginormous, big, large, whatever word you can think of, ribeye sandwich. I was in the grocery store. I wanted to make this sandwich. I was looking at some smaller rolls like regular sandwich size, and I ran across this huge sourdough roll. And I was like, you know what? Since I always overdo stuff anyway, we're just gonna make this huge. I have no idea if this bread's gonna stay together. I have no idea how this is all gonna work out, but we're gonna make a steakhouse sauce. We're gonna slice up this ribeye nice and thin. We're gonna cook it on the griddle. I'm gonna pile it as high as I can, and we're gonna see how it works out. Now before we get started with the cook, today is the day. Chef Karl is launching his channel the same day that this video is launching for you. Chef Karl's been on my channel before many times over the past several months. He's a good friend of mine, he lives close, he's an outstanding culinary mind, and he loves food. He's a foodie. He's very, very passionate about sharing his knowledge. I'm gonna put a link up in the iCard and down in the description. Everybody who knows him and who has watched my show, or if you're somebody new here and you just want to watch somebody that knows a ton about food, please, as a personal favor to me, go down, look up that link, click on his channel, and hit that subscribe button right away. And don't forget to hit that sub button here for my channel too if you haven't yet. Make sure you hit the bell, click all, and get all the alerts every time I release new content. So let me show you what I'm working with here today. Now we're going to be making a steakhouse style sauce that I'm going to be putting together with some mayonnaise, some black pepper, some freshly chopped garlic, some steak sauce, and some Worcestershire sauce. I'm also going to be putting some provolone cheese on this sandwich, and we're going to be frying up some onion on the griddle with the steak just to give us that extra steakhouse effect. Now again, I haven't done a test run on this. I have no idea how it's going to work out. My next step is to make the sauce and slice this steak. So let's do that right now. Okay, this is my recipe I just made up on the fly. This is going to give me all the steakhouse flavors that I like, and I can't wait to see how it turns out on the sandwich, but let's go ahead and put it together. So we're going to start with 1/2 cup of mayo. To that I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of freshly ground black pepper, very coarse. I like that little snap in the bite. I have 2 cloves of chopped garlic here. I've got here about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. That's going to help thin this out a bit and really give us that steakhouse effect. Lastly, I have about a tablespoon, maybe a little more than a tablespoon of steak sauce. I'm using A1 brand, but you can use whatever steak sauce you like or that you can get locally. Now we just need to mix this up. It's a little thin for me. I'm going to add a little bit more mayo to this. Okay, so I added about another 1/2 cup of mayo, and now this has reached a much better consistency for me here. I'm going to continue to work this just a little bit. We'll finish it off with a whisk. Alright, I'm going to set this aside to chill and get the steak sliced. There's lots of good marbling in this piece of meat, so I'm removing most of those hard fats that I'm getting off of here. Alright, now we're going to go across one more time. Get this a little bit thinner. Alright, there we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. It's time to get outside, get that Blackstone preheated. We're going to start with the onions, get the steak on there, and hopefully we're going to build a badass sandwich. We're going to see what happens. Let's get outside. Okay, we're going to start with our onion. Just got 1 small onion here, and I don't want this to get too soft. I just want it to start to get translucent. I like a little bit of crunch. We're going to kind of make these al dente. It's going to go perfect with this sandwich. Alright, the onions are starting to get translucent. They're about half done. I'm going to push those to the side. Now the best part. Alright, our ribeye is on. I'm going to season that with some garlic salt, my favorite. Oh, those smells, unbelievable. is always my favorite part of cooking on a flat top. All right, this steak is right where I want it. It's time to go ahead and pare the onions. We're about ready to build a sandwich. Say a prayer for me, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea how this is going to work out with that bread, or how much of this I'm going to get on. I'm going to try to fit it all. We're going to find out. I'm going to get a little toast on that bread. There we go, that looks nice. Now I did tear out a little bit of the bread from the inside of the bottom and the top just so I had room to fit this stuff in here. So we're going to see how it works out. Let's get set up. All right, let's get our provolone laid down here. Got about 6 slices of this. One in the middle. I could go with more, but I'm sure somebody would leave me a nasty comment if I did, so we're going to go with that. Now let's just pile this steak on this sandwich. We might get all this on there. This is 2.5 pounds of ribeye. So if that gives you any idea how big this bread is. All right, it's time for our glorious sauce. And now for the crown. Alright, so I literally made a sandwich as big as my head, and that's pretty big. Let's go inside, cut this open, and see if it tastes any good. Alright, we got better lighting in here. This thing is it's as big as my head, and I got a big ass head. So now we're going to cut this thing open. We're going to see what it looks like on the inside. And I'm going to feed my daughter, my wife, leave some leftovers for the other 2 kids, and probably run some of this over to the neighbors. I got 2.5 pounds of ribeye, 6 pieces of provolone, 1 whole onion, and a ginormicong piece of sourdough bread here. So this is going to feed a lot of people, but I'm going to be the first one it feeds. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. I'm going to try to let the knife do the work. And boom. Take a look at that. All right, now let's cut the halves in half. Oh, that's good sauce. That's a really good sauce. That's good enough for now. All right, here we go. So just look at that bad boy. Man, this is good. A huge cheers to you guys. Let's see what this turned out like. Ready? Man, this is gonna be messy. Cheers. Wow, man. Holy cow, that's good. I didn't go cheap on this, guys. This is an Angus ribeye. And I could have got Select, they had it on sale, but I wanted this to be good, and I didn't want to, I don't know, I just wouldn't have felt right about the video if I didn't go that extra step. So this is about a $45 sandwich, but whatever. Anyway, this was outstanding. I hope you'll give it a try. You don't need to do it to this size. You can make this and make little sandwiches or even sliders, would be a good thought. Don't forget to subscribe to Chef Karl's channel. Link's gonna be down there. Please support him. He's a great man. Reminds me of my grandfather. I love spending time with the man. He's an outstanding human being. He's a hell of a chef, and you need to be there if you want to learn from him. So that's it for today. Till next time, I will see you on the next episode.